Yoshino, Renji, and various other people were paying their respects in front of the Sumai family grave. While doing that, Renji told her that her father was a scaredy cat who didn't drink because he was afraid of getting a hangover. He also reminded her that her father had gotten married when he was 19 and that she was about to reach that age. She then saw Kirishima, who was also present, and began to feel goosebumps. Later, Yoshino was walking down a street with Tsubaki while thanking her for helping her cover the fight scars on her face with her makeup skills. She also told her that her dentist had told her that she could get the tooth she had lost fixed. At that moment, Kirishima appeared and took her bag, saying that he would carry it. However, she tried to get her bag back, and while the two were fighting over it, Tsubaki reminded them to be careful because otherwise, Renji would definitely find out about it someday. Right after, Tsubaki began to tease Shouma, who happened to be there too, which led to a verbal fight between them. They were really behaving like a bickering couple, and Yoshino quickly explained to Kirishima that they were always like that. Apparently, their grudge had started when they saw each other naked by mistake, and none of them had the expected reaction to it. In the end, Shouma took Yoshino away to separate her from Kirishima, while Tsubaki called both Shouma and Kirishima immature. That night, our protagonists arrived at a party held by Renji, and the moment they sat at Renji's table, Yoshino's grandpa began to tease them with Tsubaki's support, who was sitting at the same table. That led to Kirishima confessing he loved Yoshino more than anyone else in the world, which embarrassed not only her but all the people present at the party. Afterward, the four of them began to talk about some funny anecdotes involving Renji's past with Gaku, Kirishima's great-uncle. Yoshino's grandpa told them that Gaku had always been good at fighting and gambling, which made Yoshino get angry while recalling how she had lost against Kirishima in the rock-paper-scissors game. At that moment, some guys arrived and Renji left the table since he had some business with them. The old man also told Shouma to go to the basement later. Some time later, Kirishima arrived at the basement where Renji was practicing golf, and when the young man noticed some blood stains on the wall, Yoshino's grandpa told him to not pay attention to that, before adding that Shouma had been there a while before. Renji then asked him about his fight with Shouma, but our protagonist didn't reveal anything important. Then, the old man asked him what he was doing in Osaka, to which the other explained that he held some personal grudge against some people and that he had settled everything by talking to them. Of course, Renji didn't buy that and punched him before grabbing him by the collar. He then asked Kirishima for more details about the grudge. Yoshino's fiancé then said that some of the Yakuza group's daughter's thugs were still around. Renji then mentioned Ozu, and Kirishima explained that that was another matter involving an ex of him. The old man then beat Kirishima hard for having involved Yoshino before saying that he knew he had turned off the lights in the park that night. Still, Kirishima insisted that it was his problem and that Yoshino had nothing to do with it, to which the other replied that he was as clumsy as Gaku. Renji then added that he had managed to restrain it when Kyosuke was killed, but he had almost reached his limit. Then he told Kirishima that he would leave Yoshino to him, so he should take care of her, to which the other agreed. In the meantime, Tsubaki asked Yoshino if she had told Shouma that she had started dating Kirishima, to which the other replied that they were not exactly dating and that it was just that she had lost at rock paper scissors. Tsubaki then warned her about not getting swept up by him. After all, he was a pro in dating while she didn't even know how to hold the ball, but Yoshino didn't take the warning seriously. Meanwhile, Kirishima and Shouma, who looked like he was beaten too, met outside, and the former teased the latter before telling him that he had started dating Yoshino and that the role that was Shuma's had become officially Kirishima's. Of course, that led to a verbal fight that soon turned into a real one. In the meantime, Yoshino found Kirishima's location thanks to the GPS and grabbed a bat before asking Tsubaki to accompany her to the fight she guessed was happening. Luckily, she arrived in time since both guys had begun to use knives. Yoshino then tried to make them sew each other's shirts to no avail, which led to Kirishima criticizing Shouma for how he treated her. However, Kirishima then revealed that the fight had begun because he had told Shouma that they had started dating. Yoshino then revealed that he had agreed to date Kirishima because he messed with Shouma a lot. She wanted Kirishima to be on an equal footing with Shouma since Shouma had known her longer than Kirishima. After all, she knew it would only be a matter of time before they became a couple. Sadly, both of them ended up fighting again. Yoshino then asked Tsubaki to escort Kirishima back so she could talk to Shouma. Later, Tsubaki let Kirishima know that both she and Yoshino knew that he had started to fight with Shouma to prevent Yoshino from seeing the wounds that Renji had given him. She then advised him against that because hiding things from Yoshino was too selfish. However, when he denied that he was hiding things from her, she advised him to invite her to his room after school, study for exams together, and look at the graduation album since that was what high schoolers did. Meanwhile, Yoshino asked Shouma why he was so mad before adding that it was not like he was getting married to him, to which he replied that the whole thing was too stupid and that the way she was going about it was dumb because it would only make Kirishima more full of himself. Yoshino then asked him if she had a girlfriend, to which he replied that he thought that they had broken up the other day. She then asked him if he would have minded if she really liked Kirishima, but the other didn't reply. She then asked which man was the best candidate for her to marry, to which the other replied that a man who could kill him. That eventually led to both saying that it would be great to spend the rest of their lives living together, although it wasn't clear if they meant it romantically or as friends.